Kontompo akohwesem ni ade no ye ka opposition it exposes us when you come into government. Okay. And maybe kind we were bro from so obetumi acheche mu otwi ma be me de. NDC and what they said when they were in opposition. NDC promised to tackle Ghana's perennial flooding through heavy infrastructure investments and sustainable water management. Their manifesto included plans to build water retention reservoirs, expand urban drainage systems, and permanently re-engineer affected river basins to mitigate flood risks. Then what are the key water retention and storage? Construct water retention and detention reservoirs in flood-prone communities to hold excess rainwater, manage flood waters, and supply water for irrigation. Drainage infrastructure, constructing, repairing, and improving storm drain systems in major cities in Accra like Kumasi, Takrade, Koforidua, etc. Then dam management, then engineering solutions. Now, we'll share on a campaign platform. One of the things President Mahama Kaye. So John Mahama, the NDC flag bearer, has reiterated his commitment to addressing the perennial flooding problem in Accra. This pledge comes amid growing concerns about the city's vulnerability to floods, which have caused significant property damage, disrupted lives, and even resulted in loss of lives over the years. Mahama said his government will find engineering solutions to the persistent flooding issues, especially in Accra, if he is re-elected as president in the December 2024 general elections. He indicated that his government will implement an effective prevention and management plan, which will include investing in sustainable Nanyama Mekaino. So, Ghana for whom ye no more believing in him, no more see, oh, as some more canon, as some day, into yen to Abamano. Eja, Omoto Abama na your friend saying, or start here on the 12th of March, or say, when who say flood near Kosono, say, or form a anti-flood task team. Omo betu kwa Ghana hen na ahwe bibia flood no wona omo solve flood problems now, especially in Accra. So on the 12th of March, omo te anti-flood task team, a 7-member committee headed by Standobe, a deputy chief of staff, office of the president. A member, Kenneth Gilbert Ajay, Minister for Water Resource Works and Housing. Another member, Ahmed Ibrahim, Minister, Local Government. Third one, the Deputy National Security Coordinator, or the National Security Coordinator, DCOP, Abdul Osman Razak. Then the NADMO Deputy DG, Teddy Adai. Na Marietta Brew appear upon na eye omo Chochoni secretary and a rep from the hydrological department eka committee no. Lovely committee, solid ministers. Omo time say omo share within a short time no say omo to me solve flood problems and so that they start working immediately. Na floods ninjai. Until yes no on the 11th of June, 3 months later, exactly 3 months, no mo decided say Zoom Lion contracts in now more Ghana hano. Omo discontinue immediately. Because omo believe say report about say Zoom Lion omo ntua nkrofo ni ye. But one thing I miss me bisa. Say me no back contract say mamisa asike me there maybe ye no. This is how much I'm going to pay my people near there. Na me ne ono so call another contract. Na me say say na metumi atua wo pay na wo mpe. Na eye we a. If me as a person or share the whole thing so no, I should be able to sit down with you and trash out say what can I say about my way? Who my way? I don't think it's fair. Let's look at it. Let's look at they are able to me here to solve these problems. Now you far helicopter here to quite call Accra hanyina no. So we want more helicopter no. Time omo ye we no. Pictures na all over social media. Time stand up mutina helicopter no a omo share how they are going to solve the disaster wa Accra flats na ekoso no omo share edan na minua nkojo or can say wo share baby a na obi ekosi in legal structures near there. Omo share ni nyina awie no omo cancel a contract no. Unfortunately for them no, we didn't see the alternative.
Until cancellation of the Zoom Lion contract no and a man so yiri ya na.
E kan ho bi.
Okwan benso.
Alternatively, then, how are the streets being swept? how is agates being distilled? If you take a contract from someone, put the alternative there to correct the measures. You don't just leave it here.
At the time, for ABI and this is
this is where I'll ask you. This is the beginning, but this is the beginning of the rains. Has it been that bad ever in the history of Ghana?
Yes.
The rains, no, at the beginning. Has it been ever bad like this?
Yes.
Maybe so.
Yes. July 6, 1996. July 6, 1996. Almost everywhere in Ghana, so you refer. I remember that day, I couldn't call nothing. Major roads, Kumasi Highway, baby, and one in
at that time, not Zoom line or. At that time, not Zoom line or.
It took place a Zoom line.
Let's be truthful to ourselves. Please.
Office system, no muntina.
Interjecting me, no. Interjecting me. No, let us be truthful to ourselves.
Zoom line, office system, no muntina, so you refer.
It can be. Because I haven't seen any alternatives of sweeping the roads. In Kofu, no more dropping in Rania. Who are the people sweeping it off? Who are the people dredging the Kole Lagoon? Almost by first time, they gave us this lofty promise. Say, oh, me nyampo dredging Kole Lagoon for free using state machinery. We bought into it. You say, hey, the Messiah has come. No, we can say, oh, yeah, bida. Mumma yankwa na yamba second time no mo buy helicopter no mo dey nam show no mo dey cancel contract fee cancel contract here no they couldn't even dredge the lagoon to uphold or wait for the heavy rains. Nim say rains say ba indiscipline starts with that. When we say one thing and come and do another, that is the indiscipline. Oba say sia obeka ho asem
garage project
Can I finish my submission? We will be sir, and I'm answering now. It's a different thing. Okay. But if you interject, now to me read my submission now. Now you koya na ya ba. Thank you. 1 minute 10 minutes. Let me flow.
Thank
you.
We maybe some question.
Thank you. Sometimes no. We will sit down. Oh, let's not play politics with it. Let's not play politics with it. No, no more politics. No more the in life see dear grow. And get everybody quiet and paid and singing their tune because they are the messiahs. Omo no mo ba abeye Ghana ye. Enu ni ende. You go and launch a 7-member committee headed by the deputy chief of staff. Yeah, shared to make sure that there are no floods again in Accra. That is what has even become worse in this Fourth Republic. The worst in this Fourth Republic. And we sit down and we are praising them, say, oh my ye, because MPP now say floods. In fact, I even heard someone saying, spiritually on another station, one of their communicators, our presidency, says spiritually, no. Yanko share their MPP NDC because 11 years ago na June 11th me buy and time my MPP work your friends saying office no those disasters did not happen until Abebium NDC Abana has started bill. Mr. Mibisa time said nam baby share any idea almost say mom release no ko this can MPP na ko say when we are going to go into some of these details now we can be very dirty but ebeboayen
but you should be
this same American one others came from 29 different countries. Omobe share their all year waha. The good project a Ghanaian business is doing, a businessman is doing. 29 different African countries. Omama no contract MOUs. Our signing all started on your MOU ejuma wo. But yen there we say yen peno because we have a problem with him. But we are able to say, oh, let us build Ghanaian businesses, and you get the angels singing. Let's build Ghanaian businessmen. Now you say you build big push. Whilst ordinary businessmen who are running their businesses, they are killing their businesses.
Garage project. Garage project. Sa garage project no. Mo de sikasen enana ekomu I remember say now World Bank for $280 million
World Bank every time they give us money for sanitation.
Yeah. And a government
so
government so every $38 million account. Sasi kana sagari project no adwuma na nka say yes at time no. Say ye behwe say odo ene ye be dredge odo. Na expand odo river no. Na fi Kole lagoon. Na drains ahodo no so ye behwe ne ayi ni nyina mu. Na ya demolish structures waterways nyina. Ene sane manema na ye say be ye. Mo ye.
Na Omanyanka obi bisa question.
Bisa mo ya na
NDC about government who 1.5 years. Omanyanka having they sent those people to court say omo first can number.
$42 million yes here the court Odo River no me the year man here. Motor drones no way.
Me say if Omanyanka 1.5 years down the line, can't they come and say Moji Sasike Modi come and answer to it? So don't ask me, ask them.
The Bibisa. When I say Bibisa, when I say Bibisa, when I say Bibisa.
No abemu.
When you abemu.
So ask those in the government say this time, around this time to this time.
Musemuto drones.
Government said they were buying drones. They were buying. They were dredging the Odo River. They were doing distilling gutters. They were building streets. They were doing this. Sikano omo de yaya no man fire. Auditor General audit as they always do. Report aba. So omo ya Auditor General beka and they would be surcharged or they'll have to refund.
Okay.
Say omo ya Auditor General in country.
Okay.
So ask the government. Okay. Say have you punished anybody? And now it's okay. And we believe in it. Say my project. Okay. These are the questions you should be asking them, not me.
All right.
Not your opposition. Because Obi believe say you be trying to run to Nkansah so omo diska omo ayesa in training na no believe na say MPP nko try change so that we investigate, we get another person to come investigate you. 1 year 6 months down the line, if those investigations have not been done, the Pakrono has not been punished, then they have failed as a government.
Okay. My main should be big Sagari project see if you kakra ba ye kire say $350 million say the yes adwuma ni nyina no emu it's actual sika call sa project in 2024 no $8 million, a little about $8 million, and about $62 million call COVID response, COVID-19 response call mu any biatisa yanhwe Mami can me call solution some about so cause engineer no about tough and their my sense wo dey wo be full stop solo once I say no akwaye we na ye we anye we yes anka yes o can say bi sisi ase say sikana ye de ma o mampa ne ampa say anka o ma diskana o mamfa nya adwuma na anka current administration ba na keso odi ni ko jira court ne do omutum anya hwekra ka ba ku bi yesi Odo River ye de $40 million ena ye de man say infantitim se ye titim ma bi e nyina ye be hu wo gidi say there be o kan be our Zoom lion fee system no so ka ho ena ma efi no adokoro yen a ma nso ayiri ene bibi etete sa wo tie akire hu ne say
asasema Africa ona wonyini o manu kwa bi mo be sesa na no nti ya me ha ho pisa wa isa se ono abeka se shika isikwe onzo convertible no akeka se alaju rain and fa the certificate up to date cry ono an certificate ye ho tinyame amemo a ka wantua ni minister nyenso na bi neto in fact June 28th of June 2001 ensure to nkra ha no na nyenso ke to amari CNN cry report here ipa more than 100,000 na baby on beda kra no ayai nti eyenim say no dem ma alaju drains we no omo ye se ne be ya ebe easy ayim look omo ba ne fa owura akufo ado ko gina odo no okay ano mo swende omo biti ye nyina omo chese omo biti ya dwene omo ko fa nyini abi akwado se ko fa ne free Pakistan no se de ano wo kire odo no ye be yi na ma free ha ye be si hotel wa ha ye be e di cruise be faso no se wo so ye politics omo wie ya na omo si ye 42 42 million 48 million dollars abras out do we ye wad ye fa shovel e de ma ala boys here ka 2 million kura no ke so combetim kama ke be sa menuma na mo de fa ye ni so sangofo we e ba be ka se mo akere wo a ya na wakata wani no afa ne se abanesa kramuda kana ye betie bi sa ki omo nye nkofo a e wo se ye de ye ni to omo so e bi o se zoom lion e wo hono mo anka masa na zoom lion mo ho na untua ne ka for more than a year and a half kapre krama fama no o de musa na zoom lion di kromo na ye ni omo esesa bola wa in fact ye ni enyini no na samansama wo ho ani edi ehu ni pa na obo video bi a eno na eyeme ya na menti ase ora kufuado de eni ora Mahama de that is where my problem is say clearly abra ora kufuado ko Canada eco expressive frustration was thinking impeach so want to me lady o man no and they did to aba mawo wonim say yete yi obi ani so ade hunu say nka circle na wo ho no emu no kwa kusi ni dan na dis ade hunu no na kuma so ade ni say ko be sini dan wo circle no na obusa say denti no ntimi nkosi dan esanse mra ene ade ya adwuma so obi besuo so obi to ball enu ti na wo beji afena ne say o ba wo swai ya the constitution ni ma no wo swai say wo the Ghana mra be dey ebe ya adwuma so Ghana mra na emani pa kwan say on to ball angu ye nsuo mu ana wo to kuma ye che no emra ni di so Ghana mra no ma kwan say obi be ma permit say ye nkosi dai wo nsuo so ana emra no je sa dia o ma beri na to na o ma be so ache na me o be so ache mi kutatumi ya ma o title kakraka commander in chief of the Ghana forces me commander o ya commander eni ti wa ye di tumi ahye won sa no e wo so di dwuma ma o man ni na ho ye dai eto no once a won fa mbra ni nya dwuma no on sa ma mesu nkire na on ga nkire se ye friend say and problem ni di enim solution na aka eno nti na ye de wa ye dai ye do akọ ye wo munye o man no plan no e beautiful obi obeka se nkran ni plan bia no oboa eno nti obehwa wildlife wo kura no o ma chichem ye wo actor akire baby a air Ramsey site e wo man hoko sakua sakumo no side wo no a Ramsey site no ye define in fact ye wo coordinates akire baby a air Ramsey site oko densu area ho na ye wo baby a ya kire yes also church mu chenkofo je nya baby a obewo sensuo tata obi a de chese Ramsey site David ana yes many pantias yes so say the mere for sensuo baby chese depend ntira ho it san say okfa o man bit say the Netherlands e grow about 20 almost 50% below the sea level as we san say omo technology omo ya dike no omo wura mu ni yi nti nipa tumi tira ho ba yenye die no de bia de boy ho kwasafo hene se ye nisika tie nisika no Governor Godgesberg ade ba ko ye boa ye nyina me fi se ye ko fa Godgesberg do aro ekosikoko no odwene ye ho kakra ne se no ye nyine ensovea edu fa nkra ha na ba bia na ofi se ye sika nso se be ye sa big drains ra enipa ben konkotra no oyini nyina afiri mu na ode ba bia na ye papa dipa betu atena no ejema government to he nkra ha ba bia abai jeans ase ni nyina no ye friend say eye ba bia o identify no say residential area na say hono asase ne papa tinka ye industrial area ye wo residential neighborhoods any ade ana ye nia na namafo ne ba ya ye betubo ebu na ni nyina so na se kire sabi menyi ntumu nso say obia be ne fese o sori se okwa kusi dan wo nsuo so menyi ntumu sa esane enkran mi efieru anum etiri modern cement water no 1980 yetumu ne obetum ade o cement akoso asade ene yai wo sa to cement ede ayede aye bibi but aban were bigger role enunti na akofa State House by somewhere in 1952 that ye be change in 1965 say State House sa abaya memu ama mesisi adan bebre woni private sector na nkam mu ama medi dwuma no ama ba bi te say ye wo North Kaneshi ye wo Tesano ye wo Asylum Down ye wo Kokomlemle ye wo Ala Junior ye nsisi dan no dodo na wo kromu a edan ye wo wa wo de ye ni no krema yo adan papa be dodo se ne alado ka kire for the fa bi ato nchen adan papa be dodo se ene woni town adan papa dodo se ne woni ma ye wa Russia mo ekroma mo mudi Russia obi a chichiri ko papa mo de akotu ko bi wa tantu do papa be se no sukura aboso kai area o adan papa dodo se no I was buying a take steps compulsory acquisition na yetumi eje ne chance yese oni nya ba de kwa kopiska ba besie oni ankrenkre kabom na yesisi condominiums and asa dan ye wosoro na ye de chamber ho se container yi ne yetumi esa se areas no da menta de omo akwan papa insurance ko ho already ejina odi nipa dodo ni nyina ye de aba ba papa se de be ya emba nipa kwan se ope ba bi di ti ato nkire chinchire twan gise okoko pasa ase a eni baby papa na okopesa asase no a na what the way ye politics ye ejimede bia be the candidate echi no owura so for them owura imam dem a na mesu ogo yem say waton sovereignty
adan
so for na wo ko no akode mpa ye ne akosi dan na sinsuo mu no ono na sankofo no use no say eja ye ba bebu ye dan no so for telephone wa fe ba oba yebonia oba jonsogu na so ye ntwane na tie besere wo saka imam na ko no na wo so wo bompa ye no wonu da sa adeboni ni si a ye fa no so ya sa frɛ panyin no tubo sa ade no omuni papa no pa na si o mesa bi maye me ye national service of development control unit kemi enema ni bo anwa to sa ade we ade kora no si ye dwene ho e wo so tamfiri ho obenwa so obi atutuntuma oyo hene waba wo fase anu na mo man no enko nanim na nipa na yedi na sisi no dan juti ora president Mahama o se de o so bubu ana nkofo aba na o mu su ya o ka chori ni ya se nkofo ni su no wa enyaye a wa hwe next election ye to atia no ene ti papa no ho pa ni atwe ni say yetumi nya leaders e beka say look me ba say me ba besom me ye papa na me ye wie na so man ni fi say de me ye no na ye papa be bo ni pa ja to tie me maso minya me minya me duma wie because you see that they make a mistake say o ye papa ye beto aba atia me nim so tra ko fo dua da
yeah
what tra ko fo dua da ko fo dua be bia bombi 1 and 2 ni kro nu ankasa na ezongo
yeah
eye kena minyira ene gina na so say metu wo mo afiri ho abra wo ye saade no na nipa hie nkra live of so mo kanti me ni me bi mo kanti egu nkra e betwa rules ye waste of everybody's time ana wo se meye papa ene wo kofo dua bonte so a ale so benye obi a wo bokanya minyira dia obe kai se na ha zongo ene ti se di to me ni mawa fa ye papa fa buo nipa na be ye nipa ne den me o ma me say Greater Accra Regional Minister one year 1 month Sir Ramsey we dey no kwa mo fama 1 month na me nko clear ho mamo bi wi a na masane mo position ay dey amamo me hia more than 1 month mo go bu adani free ho
okay
mo bu illegal structures ne o vote kitwa bi ntina e wo se pempem esofa na ye nya sanem na wo de wo ba ye yi a Alfred ba yi wo chance wo se de zoom la ye mo antwa ne kanto wa wo gya to se wa ban anya ade ana e ba ye wo te committee bi na ye papa go ni mante mo ye ya ko be si committee baba so wasa no man ti gya na ye ni United Party for asem na aba no ye mfa ye ni nhwe na ye professor solution kan kire kwadwoni na ban se mo nya ni se mo anya ni se ye ni ye ba ye be ye na mo de mo ntumi nka
wotumi ka engineer asem yi last year ye di nkomo last week ye be di nkomo ye da so e di nkomo asem sasam no kasa na dos no action esan say anano penso egugu ye mi say obi su obabi den minim say I say okay yes we say ya toba ha say bibi etumi nya hu bibi abio ya ba na aba nti ye ntina musa sana ese ekono
no dabi menye sure say sana I didn't hear flash floods who asem yakan ye oniama ediba say bia ye construction na ya divert nsuo no nsuo bi dabi akofa baabi nsuo to a e flash floods eba say ye impede waterways e the flash flood eba e dey na dey impede say bia obi si dan esi nsuo no kwan so ana say bia ye di nwura egu nsuo eno ene kofa flash floods eba na Accra no say ne dey bia meka no Accra no is surrounded by what we call the chain mountains war a free shy a Musa Kukopiemu or Makati Hill. And the activities BI was so running and any effect our crash. Now, somewhere 1850, I don't know, 1850, and hydrological department, under PWD, hydrological department, and our services at that time. And somewhere in 95, you know, and yadi beshe works and housing as full-fledged department, beshe works and housing as and yadi na musa no 2022 and nanado ne na ban ebeye no an authority, Ghana Hydrological Authority, ewo Ghana.
Yes, we to me.
Okay. Satam no na wadikan I establish Greater Accra Resilient Integrated Development. Garrett. 2019 and I will establish no. Ebe start year Juma 2020 and 2021. And to almost prepare budget omo de koto abayani parliament ma omo $218 million no omo mfanya o madwuma along the line no omo timi ye spend $127 million so almost spend the omdi you we break it down one and our can say under the COVID omu blow $60 million ewom and the keka ho and na me no ka say odo dredging no omu 4-year contract omu ni obi asan a every time bia na so continue na odo no that 4 years contract now sa garage no ewo ho and 2022 yabete Ghana Hydrological Authority no so obi bi say Hydrological Authority no omo budget line no to say na eden na omaye ndika me pese me hwe omo functions no bare bia na ebe delay or so omo hwe flooding na omo mitigate flooding ewo Ghana a major function ma wo mo ansana designs no ne ade de be manage ye issue na adida akwamu no mintimi hu say omo saka omo budget ne dia ene mintimi hu but over here baby wo ho a omo ayeye so he nima baby a central mosque no ewo no drain bi da ho no omo aye anti obehu say ade omunye ska ometima ye bia ka ho na mum ye de ba ye ya sitrenu mu a maka aniema miensa ana na ya de flash floods no ba no se nsuo no efri baby efri na e ba na nsuo de onam ne kwan enti se uko temper with nsuo no line ni bia ebetwe anwea e de aba ndubo hu se nsuo no nam yewo Sakumo basin e ho a nsuo no fam eko bedia na so local Ramsar side ho no yewo the patient there no so back Basin Lagoon. Ye wo onyansia ni odo be piem wo Caprice hoi na enamu eko apunum. Ansana oko Lafa Basin na nsuo no fam ewo akraka any dansoma omunsun temu. Now along the line no human activities bebre wo a ekoso. Enti se human activities no ekoso na ye impede nsuo no in any form ebe koso flooding on the material. Enti as we speak now no ewura de no I hope na mpese me stress on okay. Esan say ko dollar fence ye ko hwe every so Nkan we about 29 assemblies about 24 or municipal assembly on the channel na say municipal assembly no e bi kura a population of about 300,000 studies in such way say each individual no ultimately generating 0.47 kilograms of waste and would they multiply 300,000 now I was say to me man a fair idea of how to manage na we generating and it's a simple mathematics crowd bet me amount about 140 tons of waste. Now you need a budget to manage our waste. First, you need a waste management department. Oh, municipality. Municipality is latitude one. Be no waste management department.
Really?
Oh yes. The municipality to go any waste management district in Ebenyebi. And we only pay 300,000. Now, generating waste. Now we need waste management department. How are you managing the waste? Until the area say you environmental officer or she say you be beans akese no the almost the skips no you dey akosisi strategic areas next obi abetu wura we hear about 100 tons of waste now the skips you kosisi kromo waste say no bekom and a frequency of lifting say kukurusa
no so cry yourself
enti we assume say ye bibi not many for so I assume say yes ye kotu mura nugu na fe mura no ye be hu say ene nam doctor nu for dem chen enti say unkofo ko doctor mi say omu yiye mu a say wo hwe a wo be hu say omu yi anwea about 60%. Now for Ebola no ebuso. Sanwea no okay. So and it's a we need waste management department. I bet me ama household nyina hu say waste na mo generate no say necessary mo ye no. Na mo environmental officer bi o te ho any the officers be me and bi o a whole municipal. Na bi our tankers for e bi 20 our mo call rounds. Hwehwe nkofo top bar mu ni it has nothing to do with waste management. Waste management is a full engineering on its own. Ghana niya sabio wajimi kakra wajimi tototo no odi ni ko gina Holland ene na oto bibia on fan tu bebia ogina no
debi odebeko
odi shey bag ni because bebia ogina no home na any senior system in city no untumi enye sa ade no wo ho yesu siete ha ana ye jai ye environment no amana ye de pe esan se usi dan si ho a o dan no ho no e wo se utumi e concrete dan no ana u green dan no o ye long nti nsuo beguso a na a hold nsuo no se no ye jai ni na obi anhwehwe eye menwanwa say uko baby advanced country bi awa rain water are free in chance daso no ye allow rain water money move from your rain water harvesting plumbing yes you are Mr. Thompson nsuo egu fam wo die egu fam miss me die egu fam ni nyina akohia wo fam a na te anwe akogu gota mu enti gota na nkasa no ye de anwe afele no ansa na ina bi ko
hose de anwe afele
yes ansa na gota ya nsuo pe na sese
that's the distiller
nsuo pe na sese fam anya bibia jaka bia no e woni bin
yeah
nsuo pe na sese fa gota enti sa anwe wo mu a anwe no efiri enti se yesi ebe use technology near the manage waste na fe the human say every month be yan koti got mu na men sunu ya because that is not what we have to do on them enti say no o share garage for functions na adwuma om ka so mo be ya om ka so mo be 18 water retentions
yeah
so what ma say na nsuo no on say immediately be am person you use the free agboba ho no e ba enam atomic energy area ho a be pie wo dome a be pie wo ha no na ya person me use on say wo municipalities be 3 a omu nyina no sa issue no enam emamu enti say the office ro no e kwapem south and north omo so ho no abri ho no omo start agitate soil no ho na e di nsuo no ba no the trust wo ye ga east nitimi so ma kosoro okra na o ma kodi nkomo ahu the rate nsuo no de ba na ahu say ye de retention e babo ase ho na ahodu nsuo no ni amano kwan amana ba gradually as in say ye jani sa na ba with that speed no because about with that speed no ebeba be wie odo ni onyanhia no ya ka bom wo ka price wo we free nti ewura pere methodist e chire ho na aye bibi e wo ho nti ya adwin say ye system wura enso no about 40% of waste no ohwa ha
no
20% air open burning I dishi enwura na fe about 40% pan yetumi ekukuru eno kra na edikoku baby disposal point no kra no eno so kra ye another matter
necessary ye wadwuma kase ye pass ye se be ye dia
anunti na eye nwanwa se eye na amanfo ni bebre de blames ama assemblies no because so only assembly ni si ho department buying na our capacity so obetimi a managing nsuo bia ifri baby ba there were works department ana FNA ana there were why na betimi a manage nsuo no because Ghana Hydrological Authority forms a problem on them chedo but district no and municipality no almost all problems are almost manage eba obi asidan asi nsuo so asema ya kan menye hu obi a ye betimi aka say was the dance nsuo so so kura a genuine permit obi fa bi na kire me because assembly no any nipa ba ko na issue permit it's a whole authority within it the planning authority led by coordinating director omo nhwe emma obi enkosi dan si nsuo so no it will never happen na the question say building inspectors any physical planning team no ana works engineer na omo ho no any ni team no omo kokoto se obi AC dan or wrong place well the auto assassin no the old developer no any assembly ni sa akofo mensan wonyina is at fault any year it memu for enso ye hwehwe hanma nsehunu no so koso no yeso ye ka ho bi na obi okwaduma anopa
okay the phone is
okwaduma anopa Monday no upon awia anyime Friday so obi koto blocks 2000 no pay masons 10 no mu si dan a ono a wapon no obere hu se o mu si dan ho let's be realistic and to hear assembly concept now yes unit committee and the basics of your structure no unit committee for no te important ho
see the cost be money
and to necessary your delegates our functions in the ma
no ya ye ne sa
that be no mo kra na obi hu mo and he say ya to aba ni we na mu sa 4 years na ya sako ni wa no mo functions na delegated functions enti etimi delegate ma omo omo be hu se akwa we Saturday and Friday no wakope masons for our do omo yaduma enti ho ana no afa police nanka yama wo jai but obetwen enti next week no inspector na obeba no so fa ha this week ana kakra ko libotom enti next week no on fa ha bio obesa kofa baby foforo enti tam obeba no na wakata so a otim afa na aye assembly no a problem how to get this enti say na was say timika say waste waste no or say a full time regime na hu baby nkata bi a amna see a baby ama waste management no akọ all the district municipal authorities
say beba me da say your how pa dey ka say ye beka na minim say obi a wona adwuma so ye yenye say yenim panifo ni nyina nim de ekoso pa ba ye dey say nema fichire bia na yenna na musa ye wo to be 40 minutes and we should be able to I say you be to me a day 40 no I'm 555 about 40 pepe na ye de ye LGBTQ hu samsami baby a edru no ye be pass ye be sign ye sign ye be we ye nye ye yi bia firimu ye di bia ka ho na ya dada nkrofo ya scam nkrofo ya juma ya wie hu nsem bebre Alfred mama sheshem fanfru so wa ha se mo se yade a aban no askam ganafo sane brofo a mode ye modwuma se waskam ganafo waskam wo mo kwan ben so 5 minutes any mo stand e was asemi ho
Jacob na
Alfred Thompson
there make double standards of government won't say ase or of this particular government na nkrofo so plus for no so they are fun another level because somebody yen na yen in baby omugina bi owo
Eja so ne ka no o ti di o ka
no I say plus
one plus no
na ku say new na
ye floor plus plus for ye floor plus
okay
thank you omowo eyi opposition and now end with what eyi said it comes back to the same things we're complaining about okay two things that are causing all these flats and structures rubbish and structures rubbish are not being cleared structures when they even clear them omo yi mfi ho me hu structure bia omo ebubu egu ho omo yi fi waterway mu is still there inti insuo no ba e block no and that is even a bigger problem than solving the problem government omo form ho adwen na omo yi ade pa ebeboa Ghana man and I'll keep on saying if you are going to buy a truck for refuse collection baku bia cost 120,000 euros so you can imagine the number of trucks are here until when you have people doing the work sit down negotiate with them let them do the work and do it well it will help the whole country it won't help a particular part of people unless they have their people almost establish in one way or another which they are doing anyway big push now establishing crop-up LGBTQ na matters arising sesi ayete ha no mehwe baako president de oka na mahwe speaker de oka na mahwe 189 MPs na aka no almost de omoka when the center cannot hold they just say things are falling apart the ekoso no yen say omo ni hwe a omo de maganafo they will come and say one thing and they will do another omo gina ho ase north na omo start wo ina sebi the then president person oye trumu intina wa sheda na person pass bill no the bill is whole in its form the bill no the most reliable and the most confident bill you ever get in any country omo kan minister sitting minister says a minister mpo bioma or can say Kenya for mpo abefa bill no and they've passed it they just changed the name Ghana no mo de Kenya share ho no mo pass a bill no as it is omo ba abemu a and do 1 month or say 2 weeks simple within 5 days they can pass that bill and then yankopon pe no ha ompe say oye Ghana for boni and 189 MPs. All they needed to do was to change the title under the 8th Parliament, no more in the 9th Parliament, no more presenting bill now as it is. Now 189 MPs, but the MP before say 189 MPs no, I can say we've passed the bill. They started say, yeah, can't want them. I'm sorry for call, yeah, can't want them. They said that was not their priority. Our priority is something else. Now where they can't forgetting say it was one of the priorities you say to win the 2024 elections. Almost castigated the then sitting government. Say government, you know, and they say Mahama na be na no President Mahama aka say bill no dey do na do table so that. Yes, in do into me and signing. But you be saying who say what have they done to the bill? Or no opposition or my yet say and once say or the government sponsored bill. Or any private members bill or any government sponsored bill. 1 year, 6 months down the line, have we seen any government sponsored bill? Eja ona owura intim fojo anyunyamfo ono ne nkrofo kakra decided say let's change the heading and bring it as a bill being sent to the 9th Parliament and present it as it is. Put the document together, presented it as it is. No, they call committee. A majority will committee into they can do what they like. My bill Nkansah non-functional because critical things are punitive. Ebe man crofo is through abu. I can say oh, adia mo dia baninti, adia mi hu wom ninti, law ya passing ninti. Me ye ABCD. Ni nyina ye film. Bako 31. Omo ye film. Enye hu. Nye my friends enye surprise my say na siampo e wo Black Star Square nim ho e hu se nkrofo twitwa pictures somebody to social media
na nkrofo ni committee no so omo raise
when there are majority in a committee who are you? Don't forget that we have a super majority in parliament.
So the 35 ni
super majority because one can't just say member
so far as our
committee members Jacob now
they say
the 31 items. Oh, I can give you some. Oh, Mobi wa.
Na me pese hu no na be say for committee ni so a omo raise consensus bi about say omo yi 31 na free mu.
Na say parliament omo raise consensus. You don't need listen e dey ba first and parliament as a whole no. Our people have raised concerns.
Na committee no so
may say the bar parliament as a whole no na me who here. I'm not part of the committee. I didn't ask anybody there. But the about parliament as a whole Ghanaians in what went on
for no committee no so na nka say ye committee no so ye resist say ade we ye mpe ade we nye na mo committee no for so many mo hwam o
Jacob na if everything has come na public na nka say what some of the things are about out are omo kan wo ho and you still insist say enko ye closed door committee and our committee a ehye baby omo ye na ye dey aba whole na whole amo complain one isn't it part of the minority no complaining?
The question they tell me say
and I've answered you by telling you say Ghanaians have seen it when they brought it to the parliament as a whole
me say
not as a sub
but what say if you committee committee ni we na adwuma no
can I read
and be pacho committee ni we na adwuma no mate committee ni we na adwuma no e no mo dane e de ma ba parliament e no na se bedwa mu hankasa mo be debate na be say e bre na mo ye ho adwuma wo committee level no mo reps na wo committee level no anka wo bibia say ade we say raise wo ho ansana
you and I were not there.
Okay.
You and I have not asked the committee members.
But
what we have seen and what we have known now, they say EBA committee as a whole, no, parliament as a whole, no, the main floor of parliament, no, people have raised objections to it. Almost raising objections, no, it's just nice. Say, but they didn't do it.
Okay.
Speaker, it raises say, or can say consideration stage. One can say pass the idea no. Almost say speaker nini ho no. quickly no more pass it because they have the floor.
Okay.
Say some more can say speaker hasn't even got the right to say yen withdraw. Na yen share the neither has a President Mahama. In fact, President Mahama through him in a meeting for the first time so man for me quorum. I didn't even know say man for me quorum. But bringing some of the things up, we share under a critical omissions by under protections, victim protections are dropping our bill. One of the protections say in the 2021 bill explicitly protected victims from criminal liability for involvement in prohibited sexual activities and required courts to order compensation for physical, psychological harm. In this particular bill, number 19, victim protection. This particular new bill, anyhow, we share medical assessment for accused. Number 20, the 2021 bill guaranteed accused persons the right to voluntary access, approved psychiatric, psychological, and psychosocial counseling at any stage. And so anyhow, we share 21. Courts under the 2021 bill could impose alternative sentence where a convicted person genuinely recanted and sought treatment. This crucial safety valve, which positioned the law as protective rather than being punitive, does not exist in the current bill. Assistance for questioning and intersex, and this under 23, Now, when you look at some of the penalties, when you look at LGBTQ Act, under 6.3, the 2021 sentence in 3 to 5 years or fine of 750 to 5,000 penalty units. Says 2 months to 3 years or fine as it is until they've reduced the sentencing. We'll share another reduced sentence, detention with intent. Detention with intent in 1 to 5 years. Only reducing it to 3 months to 3 years. We'll share significant reduction funding prohibited acts. 5 to 10 years. They say only about 3 to 5 years. We'll share another significant reduction now. LGBTQ organizations. More 6 to 10 years. They say almost they be 3 to 5 years. Okay. Then we have the undermining family values in an extrajudicial treatment. It tells you that in some manner NPPA can time affairs bill before in the 8th parliament say share some of these things here. Almost say they be that it's because they don't want to sign the bill. And no. These same things are and that this committee drop it. It is this time around. What I am saying, they say we have double standards, and we have people who do never speak the truth. Omuka adebako. No more another 13
minutes.
30 minutes. Interjected more than 5 minutes. Interjected more than 5 minutes.
Bengo.
Solo. I said maybe I drew you.
As a film na afre kasa na mera ho no ametiase die nti amere na obre isanse akandifo edi animu a echirifo no mo hwe kendini no mo de abo mo bra onye obi a odi wanimu a odi wanim do akọ oseyemu a emamo a modi echire no mo bre ene nti na wo bre asema wo kan ne tini ne nan ne de so MPP na Nkansah no omofo aso se be pass mra na na so omofo aso eno wantimi anka no so wo to anansesem ya beduru because parliament amene umienu parliamentarians ayeto abama omo between 2021 to 2024 ekoye yenye nananom ne kristofo ne muslimifo ne abosomsomfo obi a woni spirit ni ase ye makwa matumutumu nkoso enkofo isi da omena nkofo akoso a tumu.
Can you imagine?
How?
Can you imagine?
Yes, Mrano. And as a parliament, a Jim Brani Tumo. Between Jubilee, Parliament House and the Jubilee House, or drive watch a pa 5 minutes. Okase, or the dispatcher 2 minutes. And the clerk of parliament, a possibility we are, Juma also yarn said was a sakoma ura ekufuado. Nanka osaina emrano ebe ye adwuma ora kufuado onya nduro kra no otoma bedi etu eye executive secretary etro krata tente wona atebrofo but me kind the last paragraph what chire mutwe amame said ebe ya enimo beda we will throw a crack 8 of May 2024. Last paragraph. Also, in the circumstances, you are kindly requested to cease and desist from transmitting the bill to the president until the matters before the Supreme Court are resolved. Omampenia ya kojimra tuma ya di ba table so. O de yem fa ne sasem bi kura wo court a. Enye no an say o di two tables na o kire mu say esa ne se asem no wo court ni nti no matwa me awie a ya sa. Only o say on person odi nanim yenu kura be dey. Ebehu be ono. Now we have said in 2017 Omampenia Kufuado and the call Al Jazeera kaka kire obi anu otutu na no to say wa say look LGBTQ ni yenyin tu mu Ghana ye man go for mema ne ma enware wo me san say pressure wo senka amanane for the betu yeso no omonye ne sa no gidi say enya da ya ngo for be form to want it was bound to happen and until na nyam ngonwo say once 1 year to for the first time in the history of this country clerk of parliament etro bi Otro krata koma Omampeni Akufo-Addo se wo se me emfa ma kire yenda potia wakoma beto yem se yemfa saa emra ne sai se na ene na ye ba beji ye bi hu saa eda no a yinim na sambre no mo se ensem bi wo court me boa ene ntiro so wo nyintum emra bi enu a kire se asem bi wo court Omampeni untumi nyi udumadi enye sanka agi 11 no kayansa isa se 11 no abra be de koto Omampeni anim no na ngofo mienu de kokot eno so Omampeni ye den esa ye den no de osan ya we de wanye den one sign but you see
because yan 7 no
ye wo o se de
yan 7 no
o yan 7 why
Omampeni
oh na dia say na eno chufre ya ka cho se be ka no
na
dia Alfred e kai ma me hu dwiri me ne say aye 28th of May 2026 na ye ya wada last week ya sada na almost ye second reading na me to me bo ase na no pe me hu mo topic na me ko ese ma me nkohwe ade potia esi o parliament ansa me hu de meka abra ye de asem no call parliament a ye ka MPP before MPs mienu ne ka e kasa wa asem no ora anyimedu antwi ene asafoji MP for Bosomefro. In fact, Oran Medu Entry, a ranking member of the Constitutional Committee, Constitutional and the Legal Committee Affairs of Parliament, or a ranking member, no Cadmedian Opa. Or sorry, a man of Quanson Casado say, Speaker, where do you mean who didn't hear about a boo boo? His answer, Sam Raya, the between enemy. And Niba Kuna, a deco two, or Kufuado, Kiadeco, Kufuado, say one sign. And so you be any. Ni nyina ye pepepe tie mo wo se botumi anya adaji a walking kan onya no wan e de ani o ma no ka kire now tie committee no concluding remarks a omo ka kire ewiase nia ansa na wakokeka sa ne nsem before no kra wa mana yira ye wo mu nyina ne se committee na hwe sa asem ni nyina no so
committee
constitutional committee
legal committee no
na ma men kire mu se sa select committee no ye wa MPP for miensa ewoso tampuli ye MP for egushegu anazemba
tampuli efa
your friend say ebaba ye gushegu I think it should be gushegu
gushegu
yes no woso animedu antwi asante achim no woso bi ana ejeba fo wa manhia south ewoso bi na tie de o mu nyina ne majority no yo mu kan ye
ewo committee no
so ye ka wi a no obusa friend say info no nya sansem ya no o ka na se mo ba ye se mo metu futuro ngwenu ye nim conclusion mi ya kire mo twi mom the committee having carefully considered the bill unanimously recommends that this honorable house adopt this report and pass the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025 into law in accordance with Article 106 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
Next say ebejoku ni nyina ni jitu.
Nyina ye nuoche enya no manya doa. Se ye ne ya hwem ehu se bibia ye kroje ya mpene mo oba ne oba nware bema ne oba bema nware obi nware dua obi nware you see ade na ye ka no ene masefem kro se ya breso a ye tiasi ene ye ne ye adwene ho se so oba ne oba nware ana bema ne obema nware ọma betena ọmọ nka ho hwe ya ka ya ọmọ se o embra na nke de kwa kohye owura ekufu adokon se onsan what be that ya constitution here wo he e so beautiful okwa article 106 1067 se ya passe mra na de komo mampani a owona enefu anso se obesan se bibinji na so fi se emwa wo hu bibi wo mu a emwa de oya ne se obesa tro egu krata so na osan de akwa parliament a kire die nti a ahane wonyintu so na owura ekufu ado ni owura ba omia na sa ata mu di o ma na nyim no na omuwo insusue bi pa wo ho a na so mpese ombubu se sa LGBTQ yi yebe brass ya na se yebe yefri wa ade no manchu omutiri mpongo parliament of Ghana
se weni
enti na yesi yensan and it is sad na ya omuka ya nwo se omutumi ye bold no mabaraka no kwe omune se no mampani no onye na adwene se obesan yesan se na adwene mu no saade no e wo se koso abra no akaka kire Al Jazeera fo na ndura be ko dwumadi bi ase am se omfre no the Fourth African Interparliamentary Conference on Family Sovereignty and Values parliamentarians we bibiri mu nyina no omuhia wo oman Ghana from the third and then them some dwumadi no ewi no mu wie no omusi gina bi mamen kan that paragraph 3.3 the omo kan nyina wi no apoto a kire we bibiri mfo ya mango obi anti ase so bibiri mu South Africa nko na amakwan so ba no ba nware be ma ne be ma so
oba nyanto
omo de so omo de me kwan mo so mu twa ticket ba kromu a esa sa de wu ya we se ye be ka tumutumu asem no asafa player ba se ye de empere nto ba wo be boka tie de ye ka no also participants appreciated that true sovereignty may require difficult choices and sacrifices and stress that Africa's sovereignty, cultural identity and value systems are non-negotiable and must not be compromised in exchange for foreign assistance, political influence or external conditionalities. When you be say under no circumstance you never have we are yin name say ya wo ban ya obema. Bema wari oba wari bema. In fact, to go Europe, Maya Aja to say, or ban or bar, a bit me our bema no beman. Yet the Mrat who say, won't to me one go ye, adoption cry can keep the other name. What you be back. A son said, one was a woman, what you also bear, we are so. Ye Bible near Kora, you crash say, young ones, and not yes, one, you know, the also there be. Now, Bezo Bewa, Habana, Cocoba, the Libana, and Natana, and into a mokran or mood and Yefri. Ye me came in and say, okay. One no MPP for no pa ye nyina ne say aban ye woso yi hwe na o man pass se ne be ya dache no on be sa ko Ghana for ye de o man pani mama ka so pass ya e be ye United Party de san say ye de 2 minutes rural and chamantinsa ye so ani wo Jubilee asa ye wi ani nyina di ne chi wo kwa kosa ye so ani wo Independence kwa ye wi ani ne ko Jubilee aso kwa kosa obi a wo kromu a ye hemfu emfu aso ya sorry ya bosum ni yi ene na di we eye news ene jima mu VMP before no oba bo man no form omogu no
me dance kwadwo mu na mo aban mu na we nyina sorry akwa ba na I say ebi no kasa mu ye di o ma ne hwambo esanse di amokasa mo baye no mo yi bi afim di afred kan ye se mo yi bi afim na mo di bi abeka ho ne hwanyan aja ada say abada nepal speaker any majority leader we so can we ehun samsam what is going on 10 minutes
I was saying ka ye nuanu MPP for Alfred Thompson sa turumu asemi omuni ho kwan say was nkomo kabi
adi turumu omunya Ghana for
adi no mba bet na kabi
mene ya adwum
anki ye first discussion ni we I was say Alfred sorry no pie na mo fa ni die Ghana for na aja me bofu pa
hey
o de bofu because you see at the end of the day, this is a government that you had a president going about to say it is bound to happen. Say you pro, or Bema beda, or Bani or Babeta. President. And you see, everything president we are here, says, he meant it. And you see, Omofa Kuntuna Seja, Ekofa. A comprehensive sexuality education at the best ye woman swim and unim se o pese udi bibi e be show mind so a o de sha sefin kola e to mo de ko fa ye nkola no se ye metre ye nkola na kwan a bema ne bema da ekwan oba ne oba eda ensa agofo na mo ba ha mo beka bi munsuro nyame
na so
Bible cassette ya
enfutin fodwo e be kan se mu di book bia ba book bia ba sa
anya no kwa fa book rama and no man go for book nama comprehensive sexuality education minum ye ni hu bi
akohwefo ni mo
fa comprehensive sexuality education by ye kan ye
and you get plaza
mo ti ase eno na ma ni pa bi o ma adwen say o the private member eye bill be dey e be ba ja
so nim say your plaza
chai wa say ye ka
me pacho
ka wa say o mo so ba no minim say tumu no say mo pe say adan
me da so koyo
Eja no mo go for CS comprehensive sexuality education ba na na ko ka say it is bound to happen and any pa bi mu ka say na di see ya hweye na ya fa private members bill anko ni ya nhembra antia sa de ya akufu ado e ba ko fa sa emusuo ade anya de papa yi e de abehye yi nan ko government ana both MPP ni pa bi a wo parliament ni NDC ka bo mu say yeah, the private members bill by the beko. Parliament, parliament ejuma be no mo ye. Enye mra no pass. Parliament a pass mra no. Ansa na mra no be ye adwuma no. Ghana constitution say e wo say mampanyin de na pen esi so no ye den osan. Ye de ansa no ye de mra no ya pass de beko wa mampanyin no. O mampanyin mo ko say and you see I'm telling you sa nkofo na omko court na ya mampanyin president Kufuado and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia MPP for na kwose nkofo na ti court e koyes ade oh aja ade ni kroma ade ni me koso kroma me see before me do court ho no na o ma trust a statement ya yeso mo wusu eridi ye no before sa nkofo no be do court no that's a statement na fi presidency Ashanti Media etuoturo ye osan no no ma tro eda ho ana mo from ka cha mo se mo fa asam ne court na yen ka se ye ntumi sign ano mo de ko ma parliament letter ko ma parliament say mama fa your friend say mbra na ma pass mama fa ma ha o mo de ba yen sign china na sa na democracy there was separation of powers wo executive who powers judiciary were the powers sovereign legislative were the powers who to be back at say mbra na ya pass no ma ye fa ma and we mo na ye kasa eja o mo ti make true ma say mo ha aja wuye no so to nchen ha ya fa no to nchen ose say na ya ne won wa say eniema no aye aja this is the committee report ose in the second session of blah 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 any report of the committee on constitutional and legal affairs committee no I hear yes ade ose we tie ni aja ose the human rights maminkan wa hanati ni the human rights and family values bill 2025 a private members bill was presented to Parliament by the Honourable Member of Parliament for Assin North, Reverend Intim for NDC. Maybe NDC ni.
Onye Assin North, Assin South.
Well, Assin South.
Assin South. It's only not the bill no call.
If he's reading from a parliament, then they have made a mistake. I don't trust anything he's saying. I don't trust anything you are saying.
Stop
as
that.
An NDC person.
Stop that.
I'm trying to run I'm trying to run
Intim for the president ade we e parliament o betena ha ka say NDC for ye ba ye na ye yiyi niam afiri intim for the omotena so ye sofo omotena so omo se yiyi niam afiri mu ana is that what you are saying aja committee ne so a enye intim for the nkwa na wo so there are other members of the MPP sha list of a year MPP for wa ha honorable intim for the honorable Vincent Eko Asefua honorable Alasan Tampuri Sulemana honorable Abdul Kabir Tia Mahama or ye aid to the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
How can he be an aid to
How can he be an aid to former financial advisor?
Financial advisor do aid.
How can he be an
aid? You can't be aid as such a thing.
Okay, ne boafo.
Yes, ne boafo. Now the boafo e bi no ti ase ana.
a form on parliament on parliament on please
yen naka ho and your president and ye parliament and number committee and you see uno musia ya script wo ya trama on so wo ba o ma meka eno no be ka Michelle ni pa ba ko ni o ka be pe na ya script ya mom me wa script ya script unum say entro and me Alfred unum say pa wasem ye pa pa cho nya bote
disappointment when you say
nya bote unum say
we no dey go do deputy communication
na unum say wo
propaganda
unum say wo be pa wasem
propaganda secretary
Alfred anka minimum no nanka ono de encontro no anka ono obi anka twa
yes sir
so on the asano on the asano enu nti no obetena ha no ma se bi odu tu a edu a wo de ekwa ni ho eso odi sa
plus paid agent
aja baby ya du no
sorry
I think say
yeah sure I will
for me as an individual I was seeing na just as I have said you see because how dey we sabe ye nananom eye muslimifo ye nyan muslimifo omuchi a kristofo ye chi uko Leviticus wa ewo ho ha ye nananom wa wo so bu nsa me wa fa kofia mani otu osu na ye posomfo sa de wo de fa ni fitira wa he obedu sutro ye na obi aye dan eti si na ye chi a ene adenti ni yanka ye hu mom ni enya na obetena ha na mo keka nsam asabe enim abaya wa ba wo se me de ade no kura no a mo hwe yanka ye de ba akufu ado so won san no me de ma adwene se me yankasa me gi atum se bi ono me sponsor na be ona koso na ya de ya pass ya bia e ba ya hwe ne ya de ni asan and owura John Dramani Mahama minim no ono waka kirem o say we live in a secular state and there is no way we will support anything that has to do with LGBTQFNQ
sponsor bill na
ebuti wo be sign asan ni bio amana be ye mra senya be ya sebe san kwase ade no
eja me expect what be sa no say
that so o manu eti enu na omunya atro omu na
san shishe yi a
bias na jaisa
o de wan
wo bias wo wait me be say government has sponsor bill na that's what na no can say government that is the key question
no but that's
this no check the direction the questions the direction the questions you wouldn't give them now better give them Mary don't show. I won't do anything. Adam is over. I could reform you. I could reform you. You sit here and you lie about Nanado. And you say that because they take you to come and lie about Nanado. They take you to destroy Nanado. That is all they tell you to do. The first thing I will buy is destroy Nanado. That is the only thing. They are playing now. Now we will
engineer.
Well, yeah, what I'm
saying. Me for me. Sa da wira ye twun bia ye twin kra no we ka no me hu di ti hu ne nan ade ne yempe ye se yempe afanu ni nyina se yempe me kai ebra dedi kan kwae no na MPP majority 139 38 NDC 137 138
it was 137
but now omo majority because majority in parliament.
That is not MPP.
Me pacho.
But you were majority.
Majority in parliament was.
Majority leader.
Was he MPP?
And the majority leader.
MPP.
It's one and a majority leader. Abraham Abemo.
Afenyu.
No, I don't know.
Majority leader. What does it mean?
The mere fact say your majority doesn't mean that our MPs were 137 38. Because the this thing what do you call them? The independent said that I can work with you rather than working with light. I am saying that our MPs. You stated that your MPs. Who can say your MPs are 138? They were not 138.
Majority.
Who can 138 MPP MPs?
Okay, well, that's what you stated. 137 and a 137 and a plus one become.
Thank you.
And now
stated majority. Thank you.
And I'm majority.
Thank you.
It's correct. It's majority. It's majority due to mu. minority so G2 mu yente brofo yenko school krada majority G2 minority G2 mu ama speaker sorry beside say mo ofie ha nyina no dia emre ye de abai onyin tum no onpeja nensa fun obi amowa meaning say obi agitum say samra no eseko eden asisa ama akokwe sise die
31 na asisa
akokwe ye bibio ho bi say ena ya dani ni say wo sisi ya dani say maintain you 5 minutes because e besa ko answer to 10 minutes na via so
enya botre anyenye bia se obi ewo ne dem na oye sa niama ni bia ye be de akoche no
obi antumi nche say ne kukuam asem
correct and the impact of the ye kan nyina ne say yentimi mfa mba public
exactly
emma meye tobe wo ho ti say de oye obi a wo advocate for sa ade no eno ho asem a ne ye kuri ye pri hu yo na say ohe se ne amanyo sem no ekona time na MPP ye be pass no na akakakra me akọ elections na MPP for aswa ye she pa entina omu koka bibia enyeyi so tie Afenyo Markins during that time na no okase sene emrani sitie no ye nyahu bibi but ontumi nya hwe because of sene na baby ana elections na du no enti se nei yakwaba na ayi abeto NDC for so no ma hwe se da bi eniam bi wo ho a esese yi film na bill no ko afena NPP for na omo kase yenyi bibi mfirimu na yentumi anya mfirimu during the election time no na Ghana ha nyina temperature no akọ very hot no towards elections no and then omo sa dane omo se dabi yen ka se munyi bibi mfirimu yen fa nkosa na ebere na ya juma na of Thompson kase emrano tama omo de ba no na sese nanado agitum e wo senka ankon ho
ankon ya
nunu ho na tama Supreme Court bua asem no na nanado idamu ye president o
okay
December 18 ho ba bi
December 18
enti no da ho ye president enti kanu an se mumfa ade no mra
onyo no be fresh en famra
anyi no ka se mo mi en famma
Supreme Court na parliament
patrol letter command say wo se mi e famma da be e famra
ye wu me famra
e ko ne table so
assemble plan enti se
ko ne table so
se no
ultimate LGBT asem
oba se no abedi
government responsible
abedi NDC
akotufo se
NDC nso so no ya pass na eminya kakra say speaker ka say yensan kohwe ade nu because sa quorum ayina seminar o ka no ya pass laws bebre na quorum no eni ho because quorum no parliamentary practice ni kire say agi say obi amane nsa so aka say nipa na ho no omu nuru enti yen kan na eno ye de ato nchen but obi ahwehwe han emiye di famu a ye di afam adane mra on je meche no enti se say na speaker ka say yen san revisit no ye kwa ye ne den
ni asem no
so na meche no now president nsu kire say abedu nu ho a obehwem na Uncle Thompson ka say say I was a president eni kwa say ohwem on sign sa na yemfa nko anase say no hold on baako no yan sign no
me say
no nanka omo obaye no obaye no nanka ya fa baako na ya sisa 2028 na abotre parliamentary practices no ma ho kwan sa ma ho kwan sa say o the bill ne ba new bill na ban I will say co-process ni nyina mu that is what the parliamentary practice is
co-process
and co-process ni mu no and o ma sesa eniama ni bi because co-process mu tampuli ni Chum Dr. Chum omienu ewo wo sa committee ni so omo di ho bobo na wo senka omo hu se NDC for na sisa bibi no omo ba bonte be ka kire yen se the NDC for na ye no ye ni nye ho o de emfa the granted se omo sisa bibi but omo na ka hwi o omo ye di eba plenary na ye nyina ya betena se no afi na NPP for na ewo mu no a omo ka committee no ho no omo ba be kire se ye nyinse na enu no na mo pese enye de sisi because baby na edru no e wo se ye pass and ya pass se na efitie no president say ebedru no wa ono so e de ni attorney general ene ni mpanyimfo nso be kwa kohwem because untimi nye mra bi a ene Ghana constitution no emobra ne se wan hwemu yie enti na enema bi wo ho a utie NDC fo na mpanyimfo na omche se enema bi wo ho a na ene constitution no emobra enti anini
that's the opposite
no the other way around say ukoya constitution betime twa twede enti yenyi constitution
which one
the doctor ye adwuma eni kwa say ye penalizing so ye na adwuma e wo say yi free ho ampa because obi ekopra no ho during Tanyama we na ba me say wo say ehwe no because confort crowd no yare ehwe no but doctor kohwe no na o say
first time no munim
sa na net ba ma explain in detail
na first no munim sa medical catch us say
enti
medical catch us
say subject to the constitution no subject to the constitution
me how kakra me wo ha ne say sade no obi enye say bi a eye ekuo ba ko na ede ko aya afanu ni nyina enti se na sabre na afanu ni nyina so enim enti san sekremu na wo ye kwa ne sabre say there should be some kind of changes bi no na changes ba na ye ka ho asem sabre no
changes bi eni wona ni nyina ye pepepe ye ka the only difference
for no simame
enti say no abeda ne mra e was a speaker edeko speaker so afre to leaders ni nyina ne o matenase to say no mo san ko bibibiu well say no a proponent of law na omo chichire law no de koye no omo so mo nim bi omo ka koye biu it is the speaker wo mo bi obed media abo awo mo a ono de abo awo mo na omo ahwe say if they can temper with it but say no omo pass na adane mra no utie Sam Georgia it will be very difficult say e be ka say ye kwa koye hu bi
enyina ye nka speaker sadie na wo ye no wa mo Ghana
okay but former finance minister eko Jumedi bi asemo ne CNN for ko din komo kakra me say CNN papa mi refindi me kan di o ne din komo kakra ma LGBT Richard Quest
Amina Tareka say ye pass ya ye sika no awol ya adire ye sika
eti we dey briefly ye tia wa be ye tia na fe
nya bibi suna
You voted for the law?
Yes, I voted for the law.
You voted for the law as a member of parliament?
Yes, because it was unanimous, yes.
It was, yeah. So you voted for the law, even though as finance minister, you knew it was going to have a detrimental effect on the economy. You voted for the law?
Yes, I voted for the law.
You voted for the law as a member of parliament?
Yes, because it was unanimous, yes.
It was, yeah. So you voted for the law, even though as finance minister, you knew it was going to have a detrimental effect on the economy.
You see, baby, I'm a person. I see, because it was unanimous.
There's so many
you 2 minutes by you be told near so because you want to leave Sambayan. And your boat James go Moody leave your sambo 0.75%. Ah, now one is some Moody leave Yaba.
Jacobna. You will room her. Nipo di levy bag Ghana. You know MPP for. When we see that the bill be aqua parliament, it will be aqua parliament, aqua jantum say, it will be a friend you levy aba. 11 every.
Somebody money fiber from wallet to bank no. Momona mo.
Now one levia, ya de bar, young fanco parliament, and go into mana. One will be that. Is there any levia, young fanco parliament, and my parliament into the part won't be that. It is will be by catch or say, the levia bar, Sabe, Nayaku, rather some. nukuri bi anya den enim yensi nipa ne hu ye nuanu ma MPP fo ya na won pese omoto futuro edugu Ghana fo ani as de bia omoye no
MPP fo tu futuro
of course na e-levy no me ba o ye okrom ha na MPP fo ko file e-levy buy am no the e-levy buy no what were the processes they took even e-levy through? Didn't he go to parliament? Ya ma metena ha anka say oni wo kwan say parliament dey tum ento kwa nsi wo parliament e wo e-levy no me pa cho na unikrom ha what ehunu say NDC amanyoku anase NDC aban e di bibia ko parliament a yesi ye ko paase say yemfa sika bi meto e transaction bi so ana eja kwa bana mbisa what ho asem what ho maache edi anya no kore ye montungu na ye nuanu mo nsam na ya mo keka na ne omo ye kombeso mfa kwani bia so no mo draw NDC ba ye aban ba nyema bia se bia nsem fata no minum ye shine ni ehunu say that is who they are and that is what they always want to do and send your rolling sky no ye nuanu send your mote a no mote wo mo nsesan obusu no mo ban no a ye ni mo no sanet ye jeja kwa na
mafa bibia ma na Alfred eba ne se na ekoba se omo de e-levy ba ye ti se MPs ya ka ho asem MPs ka ho asem ne ma asim se bibia sa ba nso ampa
then ni e-levy then electronic yes sir nti se si na me Google me say can a bank or financial institution charge fees and levies without BOG approval, Bank of Ghana approval, or say no bank or financial institution can charge these fees and levies without regulatory approval from the BOG. Okay. All fees must be officially approved, publicly disclosed, and fully explained to customers before they are applied. Okay. Now, then they see you will honor MTN show publicly. Say almost be charge 0.75% electronic levy for transferring money from your phone to the bank.
Yeah.
Then born in and we rose up against it. We said no. One, who person will charge levy bia, it has to go one through Bank of Ghana, through Parliament. Until you raise the alarm no pay. And a Bank of Ghana they can say they should suspend it till further notice. The word suspend nature say it means that they had discussed it with them already. And so at the end of started because MTN or whoever it is cannot go and charge levy without approval from Bank of Ghana. They had discussed it with them because if they had not discussed it with them, their Bank of Ghana SHN say cancel it outright. Cancel it outright.
One mama say, "Tawa NDC forecast will be review free HS no. Some say on be cancel. Some go na more brofo. Was it suspender? Was it? You want
me to answer you on that?
Answer me.
Yes. When someone tells you say, "Baby, shame." Na say enya mechu
ntomo ba wa makansa
na masa you bet me yes abante you
eni se me kasa oba nti na me so ba
biom we be kasa be bem ena obi na ka pesa me no cause atande ba go kasa me bem you've gone through Bank of Ghana akoje approval man start to say more publish pay what the law is stating more publish say more be charge from 1st June yan sorry nti ya na ka customers bet na ho now you start to say charge you 0.75% without any AE.
I don't go account parliament say ya mwabere so na mo dey sanction ne buy.
O che date.
Ni abre so da ben.
2024.
You know they have passed so many laws you implement it up to now. You know there are so many laws that parliament has passed up to now you implement it.
Let's say money who be
say maybe some simple question. When say there are so many laws ya pass here parliament implement.
And ya waka na me say
e-levy ye pass here no say ye pass here and parliament start to say implement no more revoke here. Isn't this part or isn't it like e-levy? Isn't it an electronic levy? So if you've revoked it why is it now coming back again?
Na money mo ho hwe
ye nim dem ho hwe
say mo abreso no sa proposal na
say this proposal say it be passable and plus everything with e-levy say this electronic levy will be charged. Now you revoke e-levy. E-levy should not come in vain. You can't just get up and come and charge.
Until they say 0.75 no can e-levy no can say e-levy no.
I'm assuming. Say, because it's electronic levy. Electronic levy. Any ordinary levy, electronic levy. MTN, they are charging you an electronic levy. They are not charging an ordinary levy. And that is what I'm saying. That if even e-levy in poor, e-levy has been revoked. So all these levies are revoked.
Okay. Medansi. Solo?
When November Ghana for AG United Party not to say the alternative party to the NDC. Here, asema na okasa dongu ka wa mfana no the can for form. We mu no kan okre ba kokra. Me wo letter no wa. January 31st 2024. So January 31st 2024 then ye President Mahama na President Amboa. President Kufuor. We a letter from the Bank of Ghana. Our motor comma MTNT. The Chief Executive Officer, Mobile Money Limited, was MT or more, Sir Company Mobile Money Limited, Accra. Or see, dear Haruna, we actually
winning. Say, okay, you so me producers will be projected.
We refer to a letter dated June 30, 2023, in which you share the proposal for changes in the list of product offerings, including a capping on cash out fees and subsequent correspondence on same with the bank. The bank has reviewed your revised request and grants a no objection as follows. A. Introduction of a fee of 1% for cash out transactions below 2,000 Ghana cedi and a cap fee of 20 cedi for cash out above 2,000. B. Introduction of a 0.75% fee capped at GHS, that's Ghana cedi 5 cedi for all transactions initiated from mobile money wallets to bank accounts. That's what may you tell me. If you want to say, so this careful bank account, yeah. I don't know you can watch me. I don't know most of what can. And she said, you'll be the debate. Yeah, more introducing in 2024 that I hear here. Oh, my cousin's party MBP. I was a strategy. You see, opposition, Tirano, a marathon, me my opposition at Chapa. And the area wa botrasa won. Ya wa botre papa. Some of the gidi bo pesa Ghana for the jimu tu ntamo.
Who say wo twan.
Me ready letter him out.
Na who say wo twan.
Kwame upon a sign you.
We say ye till deda. Ye till deda no. It's different from the 1st June there ever.
What was the 1st June? Yeah, me say
one that now we read that we say 2024. Did they start charging?
Yes,
Did they start charging?
I've been paying.
You have been paid before.
No.
You have been paying fees and levies before.
Okay. This one is
says here.
It has nothing to do with the levy.
Okay. But they stopped them from any other charge.
No, they sit.
Now, if you say this was there, why didn't they immediately move it out?
I don't go block aside briefly near some reason. Sorry.
Isaac Adongo, you have the floor. You are speaking for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to make things very clear. The minister did not say Ghana has exited the IMF. We have exited the IMF ECF program. We have exited the program, not the IMF. We cannot exit the IMF because we are members of IMF, please. The second point I want to make is that when you are looking at inflation, you don't pick items within the bucket. It's a basket of goods and services, and you are looking at the average of all of them. So it doesn't mean that certain items will not show changes. But then it simply means that when you consider generally, prices are stable. And that is the point we need to make. Mr. Speaker, my colleague says that we introduced 8 other taxes without mentioning them. I am not surprised. Only recently they said that there was a certain e-levy that was roaming around at the Bank of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, I have in my hands a letter that was signed by the Bank of Ghana to MTN, dated January 31st, 2024. NDC was not in power in 2024. January. And in that letter, the governor of the Bank of Ghana at the Bank of Ghana of the MPP wrote to MTN, giving them no objection to impose the following fees. 1. Introduction of a fee of 1% for cash out transactions below 2,000 Ghana cedis. 2. Introduction of a 0.75% fee capped at 55 cedis for all transactions related to mobile money wallet transfer to banks. Mr. Speaker, so the transfer from wallet to bank was approved by the descendants of Dr. Bawumia. Mr. Speaker, this is very appalling that this is the kind of leadership you are providing this country. That the leader of this house in the minority does not know that levies are imposed by this house and they are not imposed by a certain letter by a certain organization. And that he sat here, we never brought any e-levy to this house. In fact, we abolished it. We have not come here with e-levy. And somehow he sees a letter somewhere and impugn that this house has brought back e-levy. Mr. Speaker, the people of Ghana has already shown them that their credibility is the reason they voted them and put them where they are. And for
well, where
that's a certain matter.
Do 0.75% by Nasifo. Okay. Yadia and Manco for Gideon War Amanufomuno and Coffin. I saw no cano, wouldn't be something in the correct. No, so now Becca, we can.
MPP almost strategy, no. Nkamini Obia or ye or come strategic team in one and coming in the bedding como. One say, are you a neutral one? I was say, Omunya, I was so Munya. No more NDC to come more. They be a new strategy. Oh, Yabote. Na omu to come more. Na fe almost CC party no maba. But the same bibi ba omu dimrika mu the market. Yamu de bekono na hwinim na ekusia pro. So mu de menche no. Ghana for atrasa a level no. We are wo dimrika kodi ko ye a adongo abayi. Say a point be na abesko. Stop the charges from coming. Over levy issues. So levy issues. Idea abayin introduce you on also ni charges at the ben. Na telcos no. Omo charges ni different from abind there no di bam nti the e-levy na withdraw no mainly abind there na ewom no nti me gidi se MTN for no sa letter na e wo ho no omo se sa letter na e wo ho na na government there na we free mu no ye letter na e de call ye no ye betimi attest ya hwe se be ye adwuma because omo dia omo fidie na obi transfer scan enye Ghana government fidie se ukura usika o MTN so now transfer the core bank. Why here bedu baby no obia be yi ni sika dia ko bank na fe MTN for no kra no here omunya we nti omu so stadium say adi ye wo emlet ayi bi wo kra da e wo say etimi nya sika no nti me testing we ye testing na aban anka we ya say sika na MTN dia nti omu ye de na aban si jai MPP vo mu na ya omu sikutukum ende na America no aban ka say obey review Nabote obe review VHS no. Say aban be cancel VHS. When so Bank of Ghana say mo suspend it and so have different interpretation. Okay. Yes, I know my system now very hot side. Okay. Madam say na anope madam say pa na madam say hey oh dear media me anu odi pe treasure nti I was yes I here to abanman oh ba ya we person would that because obedi treasure part of the team you know team the opposition discovered anyway I do team for sui I Alfred Kodo Thompson our communication team member
de ma NPP so ma so all the oye ma so all the oye say me no ye ya
say wumi ati ho da wumi say we go be with phone and say we kai wumi ati
say me person
we na uzi me wumi
okay so you say me say me wumi okay me mate you said our campaign communication team no I spice on bet to me about be treasurer the NPP ama yuko no say ebre no so a osi ahenefo no mo de ba ma so why adwuma NIB da or deputy managing director NIB nti onu sika sam no nim said ya oh na wo dem kire no ha nti no
the party obegu nyuma no obede nyuma
nti ni say oye the treasurer no mani wi a na scan code baby na nya no isu ni auditing firm no
me use me auditing
what the for
conflict of interest
okay me that's it